You stand up out of your chair many times a day, and you get almost no strength out of it. This is not about your effort, it is not your age, and it is not your knee. The problem is the way down. You get close to the seat, and you simply let go. Your body shuts the muscle off right when it would be working hardest. That happens to you every single day, and you never notice it. Today, I show you 5 exercises you can do sitting in your own chair. None of them need equipment, and none of them ask you to leave the house. Before each exercise, I give you a home test. You write down your number for today. The last exercise is the movement physical therapists use to measure one thing: your leg strength, which is what holds up your independent life. You already do that movement dozens of times a day. What if I told you that you do it wrong? Stay with me, because that one exercise is worth the whole video. For decades, you were told something simple: if you walk every day, your legs are already trained. The World Health Organization Physical Activity Guidelines from 2020 say something else. For adults 65 and older, they recommend muscle strengthening on 2 or more days each week. They also recommend multi-component activity with balance and strength on 3 or more days. That sits on top of the walking recommendation, and it does not replace it. Read that phrase with me again, because it changes everything for you. On top. If walking covered your leg strength, the strength recommendation would not stand on its own. Today's villain is not walking, and I want that to be very clear to you. Keep walking, because walking is good for your heart, your mood, and your joints. But walking is not strength training, and after 60, your legs need both. So who is the real villain here? It is the idea that your step count is the same thing as your leg strength. The wellness industry repeated that idea for decades. Then it became a step goal on your phone and on your wristband. Nobody sold you that in bad faith, because the whole system went on autopilot. And in a 15-minute appointment, nobody has time to explain that difference to you. Your doctor checks the essentials, examines you, and sends you home. So you walk out of there thinking it is all handled, and your legs keep getting weaker quietly. Now I need you to do one very small thing with me. Push both feet into the floor right now, sitting right where you are. Feel your thigh tighten up. Did you feel that? That muscle right there is what today is about. There are 5 exercises, and I count backwards from number 5 down to number 1. And number 1, the last one I show you today, has a special job. It is the movement therapists use to measure the leg strength that holds up your independence. And who does that movement wrong? Most people over 60, dozens of times a day, and they get almost no strength out of it. Stay with me, because that exercise is the whole video. It happens in your recliner every single day. I am not asking you for faith here, because I will give you the sources right now. In 1994, the New England Journal of Medicine published a trial from Fiatarone and colleagues. It ran with 100 frail nursing home residents, average age 87. Ages ran from 72 to 98, and 94% finished the program. They did 10 weeks of progressive resistance training. In the group that trained, muscle strength went up about 113%. That is a controlled clinical trial. So in that group, the training caused the strength gain. But that study measured strength. It did not measure falls, and it did not measure fractures or lifespan. A 2021 review from Klempel and colleagues gathered up chair-based exercise programs. The older adults studied improved leg function and arm function. Read this one more carefully with me. It is association in frail groups with modest effects. It tells you that chair exercise is a serious method. Before we begin, put in the comments where you are watching from and how old you are. I read every comment you leave me. Before the first exercise, let's make a deal between the two of us. Sit in a firm back chair with no wheels and keep something steady within arm's reach. If you are at home here in the States, a standard kitchen chair works perfectly. Skip the office chair that rolls. If you have fallen in the last 12 months, pay close attention here. The same goes if you feel dizzy when you stand up. Do not do the standing version on your own. Wait until somebody else is home with you. If you use a cane or a walker, keep it beside you the whole time, and if something hurts sharply, stop right away. Muscle discomfort is normal for you. Pain inside the joint is a stop sign. Exercise number 5, the seated march with a hold. Lifting your knee looks like the simplest thing on this whole list. You do it to clear the doorway at home, but after 60, that math stops working out. Here is why, and the muscle in charge is not where you picture it. The muscle that lifts your foot off the floor is not in your leg. It sits in your hip. Its name is the iliopsoas, and your rectus femoris helps with the job. When you walk on a flat floor, your foot barely has to rise at all because you slide the step through, and your foot starts rising less and less without you ever noticing. At 66 years old, Marilyn lives in Iowa, and she has never fallen in her life. She started catching her toe on the hallway rug, always at night on the way to the bathroom. She figured the rug was the problem. The rug was not the problem. That is a warning sign, and maybe you recognize it in your own house. The slipper that snags on the door threshold. Before you do the work, we measure your starting point. Sit with your back away from the backrest and march, lifting your knees as high as you can. Do that for 10 seconds and count how many times your right knee comes up. This is not a standardized test. It is your own baseline. Write today's number down and count again 3 weeks from now. Watch for 2 signs. Your knee rises lower in the second half, or your trunk leans backward. Now let's do the movement, and I want you counting along with me. Sit at the edge of the chair with a tall spine. Lift your right knee and hold it 2 seconds. Then lower it slowly and switch legs. Do 10 lifts on each side, breathing out every time your knee comes up. When you finish, shake your legs out. If your knee dropped before those 2 seconds, you just found your weak point. The most common mistake is throwing your trunk backward, because then your knee comes up for a free ride. Instead of that, keep your chest forward and hold your trunk still. Marilyn started training that lift every morning, but lifting your foot is only half of the problem. Your body has a system that reacts before your foot is even back down, and the next exercise trains exactly that system. Exercise number 4, heel raises and toe raises. When was the last time you trained your ankle? You take care of your knee and you take care of your hip. Nobody takes care of the ankle, but after 60, your ankle becomes your first responder. Here is why, and the reason will surprise you. When your trunk sways, your body fixes it from the ground up. That is called the ankle strategy. Your calf and the muscle on the front of your shin fire before your knee reacts at all. By the time you trip on a rug, that correction already happened or it already failed. Think about your kitchen at night. You open the refrigerator and your body drifts backward. You grab the door, you come back, and you call it distraction. Maybe your ankle just showed up late. Before you do the work, we measure again, and this is the toe test. With your feet on the floor, keep your heels down and lift both toes. Hold that 5 seconds. There is no number here, so look at both feet and compare them. One foot rises less, a tremor shows up, or the toes drop early. Which of your 2 feet came up less? The difference between your sides is the useful part of this test. Now let's do the movement. Lift both heels and hold 2 seconds. then lower them slowly. Then lift both toes and hold 2 seconds. Do 12 cycles, breathing freely, and do not hold your breath. If your calf cramps up on you, do one side at a time. When you finish, shake your legs out. Did your calves burn before the 10th cycle? That is information, and it is not defeat. The most common mistake is going too fast, dropping the heel down and riding the bounce. Instead of that, count 2 seconds up and 2 seconds down. Your ankle saves you from the small trip, but it does not hold you on the stairs. And there is a piece of your thigh that only works on the way down a step. The next exercise goes after it. If this video is helping you, leave your like and subscribe to the channel. That way, you will not miss the next ones. If you are still here and this is making sense to you, comment number 1 below. That way, I know you are with me. Now let's go to number 3. Exercise number 3, the knee extension with a 3-second hold. Straightening your leg in a chair looks far too easy to matter. But after 60, the last inches of that extension are worth gold to you. Here is why, and the explanation is not where you expect it. Stairs hurt more going down than going up, and you have noticed that in your own house. On the way down, your body has to break your whole body weight. Your quadriceps does that braking, the big muscle on the front of your thigh, and it works hardest in the last 15 degrees when your knee finishes straightening. If you never straighten your leg all the way, you never call on your braking muscle. You go down the stairs a little sideways, and you grip the handrail hard on the way down. Hold that handrail always, because it keeps you safe. But notice what it is covering for, because that part is strength, and strength can be trained. Before you do the work, we measure, and this is the straight leg test. Sitting down, straighten one leg until your knee is fully locked out. Hold it while you count slowly to 10. Then repeat the whole thing with the other leg. Again, there is no reference number because your 2 legs are the only comparison you need. What should you watch for during your count? 3 things. Your knee does not finish straightening in the last inches, or the leg drops on its own before 10, or one side holds up much longer than the other. Now let's do the movement, and the tempo matters a great deal. Straighten the knee and hold 3 seconds up there, then lower it, counting 4 seconds. Do 8 repetitions on each leg, breathing out on the way up and in on the way down. When you finish, shake your legs out. Did your last repetition drop faster than your first one? That is your brake telling you where it stands. The most common mistake is letting the leg fall. You straighten, you hold up top, and then you let go. The part that builds your strength is the way down. Instead of that, count 4 seconds on the way down, every single time. Remember that last exercise I mentioned? We are 2 movements away from it now. Stair braking is strength forward and back, but your body also falls sideways. And there is a plane of movement that walking, cycling, and stairs never train. The next exercise goes straight at it. Exercise number 2, the side leg raise with the chair for support. Taking your leg out to the side looks like old-fashioned gym class. But after 60, that is the most forgotten movement your body has. Here is why, and the explanation sits in your hip. Walking is, technically, a long series of stands on one leg. In that instant, your pelvis wants to drop sideways, and your gluteus medius is what holds it up. It does work during your walk, yes, but it is never challenged beyond what it already does. Cycling does not train the side, stairs do not train the side, and only side movement does. At 76, Frank lives in Tennessee, and he put a grab bar in his bathroom. He told me he felt ashamed that day. I want to be very clear with you here. Installing the grab bar and rebuilding the muscle are not two options. They are two halves of the same job, because the bar keeps you safe today. The muscle keeps you strong next year. Frank does this exercise with his cane beside him, and he uses the seated version. Before you do the work, we measure, and today, this one is a retest for you. There is a published one-legged stand protocol, 10 seconds long, described by Araujo and colleagues in 2022. Stand behind the chair with both hands on the backrest, lift one foot, and count to 10. This is progress tracking for you, and it is not a clinical assessment. If you did this with me in the last video, you already have your number written down. Today, we just check that number again. If you use a cane or a walker, skip the standing test. If you have fallen in the last 12 months, skip it too. In that case, your version is the seated one, and it counts just the same. Now let's do the standing version. Stand behind the chair with both hands on the backrest and take your right leg out to the side. Go up a little without leaning your trunk and come back down very slowly. Do 10 on each side, breathing out as your leg goes up. The seated version is the right one for anybody who needs it. Sitting down, straighten your leg and slide your heel out to the side. Keep your heel on the floor the whole way. When you finish, shake your legs out. Did your trunk want to lean the other way? That shows you who works and who compensates. The most common mistake is pushing your hip out, because then the leg goes higher. But then your gluteus medius leaves the movement. Instead of that, go up less and keep your shoulders where they are. Side stability keeps you standing up, but it does not get you out of the chair. And now we arrive at the movement that opened this video with you. Before we start, remember that study I told you about at the beginning. 100 frail residents, average age 87. 10 weeks of progressive resistance training. In the group that trained, leg strength more than doubled. If muscle answered training at that age, your muscle has that same capacity. This is not motivation, this is physiology. Exercise number 1, the slow motion chair stand. You do this movement about 50 times a day. Out of your recliner, out of your bed, out of your car. But after 60, you do it in a way that builds nothing for you. Here is why, and the answer is in the half you ignore. Going up is the easy part because your muscle shortens and lifts you. Coming down is where all of your gain lives. When you sit down slowly, your muscle works while it lengthens out. That is called an eccentric contraction, and it is where your muscle produces the most force per repetition. And that is exactly the part you throw away. Because you get close to the seat and you drop. Those last few inches turn into free fall. One anatomy study, and it was a small one, examined thigh tissue. It found a large drop in fiber count between young adulthood and age 80. Your fast fibers shrink more than the others. That is why the slow stimulus matters so much for you. At 73, Ray lives in Ohio, and his pickup is a 2004 that sits high. Ray noticed he had started holding the wheel with both hands to get down. He did not stop driving. He stopped getting down without hanging on. Notice that detail because the loss showed up on the way down, not on the way up. Maybe you recognize that in your own living room. The push with both hands on the arms of your recliner, and your 7-year-old grandson on the floor, waiting for you to make it. Before you do the work, we measure, and this is the only test today with a published number. It is called the 30-second chair stand test from the Rickley and Jones norms. It is part of the senior fitness test, and it appears in the CDC STEADY protocol. Cross your arms over your chest. Stand up and sit down completely, as many times as you can in 30 seconds. Now here are the published numbers from the table. Between 65 and 69, below average is under 12 for men and under 11 for women. Between 70 and 74, it is under 12 for men and under 10 for women. The other age bands are on the table here on your screen. And if you cannot stand up without pushing with your hands, use the version with armrests. Record that as your baseline, and in that version there is no reference number. The published norm assumes crossed arms, so compare that number only with yourself. Now let's do the slow version. Feet about hip width apart, with one foot slightly ahead. Arms crossed on your chest, if you can manage that. Stand up counting 3 seconds, and sit down counting 5 seconds without letting go at the end. Do 5 repetitions, breathing out as you rise and in as you lower. If 5 is too much for you today, do 3. When you finish, shake your legs out. Was your 5th descent faster than your 1st? That is your braking strength running out, and it can be trained. Write today's number on a piece of paper and put it on your refrigerator door. 3 weeks, same chair, same time of day. The most common mistake is the arm push when you shove off the recliner and ride up. The second mistake is letting go in those last few inches. That is exactly where your strength lives. So count 5 seconds until the seat touches you. And if you change only one thing after this video, change the way you come down. Now let me give you the 5 and 20 seconds. Number 5, your seated march, which teaches your foot to clear the threshold. Number 4, heels and toes, which trains your ankle to correct first. Number 3, your knee extension, which gives you back your brake on the stairs. Number 2, the side raise, which holds your pelvis when only one foot is down. Number 1, standing in slow motion, 3 seconds to rise and 5 seconds to sit. 2 days a week of strength and 3 days a week of balance and varied movement. That is what the guidelines ask of you. Small, consistent actions on your own schedule. This video is for education and it does not replace medical guidance. Every health situation is different, especially if you take daily medication. Talk with your doctor before you change diet, exercise, or treatment. And do not stop your physical therapy and do not put down your cane because of anything I said. Keep walking because walking is good for your heart, your mood, and your joints. But walking is not strength training, and after 60, your legs need both. This was never about repetition counts. It is about getting down out of your pickup without hanging on the wheel. It is about rising out of your recliner on the first try. And it is about your grandson never learning to wait on you. It is about your house staying your house. It is about not having to ask your son or your daughter or anybody else. You're not fighting against time, you're choosing your own terms. Stay strong, stay steady, stay independent. Because aging isn't something you endure, it's something you steer. Now tell me in the comments which of these 5 was the hardest for you today. If this video helped you, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Soon we will have a video about the 10,000 step walk, about why it might be costing you your knees. That is one conversation you will not want to miss.